Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 12 of English 1B this spring semester. We've got just 3 weeks left, so you are completely in the home stretch. I hope you're all doing well, and I hope that you are feeling confident and not too overwhelmed with the class. So let's do a quick recap of last week, which is week 11. We started working on the claim of policy essay. So you were to read the claim of policy essay assignment page, watch and submit your summary and analysis for this TED Talk by Simon Sinek, and then also complete your topic proposal for the claim of policy. And finally, the last item, which is due today, Monday, April 28th, is the President Obama's speech on human trafficking. So you can read and or watch his speech and submit your annotations or notes for that. Moving to week 12, which is for this week, Monday, April 28th to Monday, May 5th. You are going to have a couple readings, and I'll give you a little bit of a warning. These two readings, specifically Civil Disobedience by Henry David Thoreau, they're going to be a little bit more challenging than probably much else that we've read, specifically because Civil Disobedience was written in the late 1800s. So, although it's English, it is a slightly antiquated form. Henry David Thoreau uses maybe more words that you might be unfamiliar with and just has a more formal writing style in general. Um, Sorry, mid 1800s, 1849. So please, up here it says to submit your annotations or notes for all three parts of this assignment and clearly label each part. So the three parts are the written introduction, which is here, the video below, and then the text itself. So read the introduction. Then you're going to watch this video. I believe it's just a few minutes, little over 5 minutes. And then you're going to read the actual essay, which is Civil Disobedience. Okay. Let's see here. Not available. Okay, I'm gonna have to update this in the files to make sure that you can access it. You can also listen to an audio recording of this essay. If you go to YouTube, you can click this link here. As always, I always recommend that if you are listening to an audio version, you are also reading with your eyes. Just that multimodal input is going to help you to comprehend and remember what you are reading and hearing. All right, so you're going to submit annotations or notes for that. There is an optional assignment for your claim of policy essay. You can complete an outline and submit that for 5 points extra credit towards your essay's grade. That is due by Friday. The next element is the Letter from Birmingham Jail by Martin Luther King Jr. So there are two parts to this assignment, this written introduction and then the actual text itself. So Civil Disobedience by Thoreau and Letter from Birmingham Jail by Martin Luther King Jr. and just Martin Luther King Jr.'s mission and actions as a whole are very closely related. So that's why we're reading both of these this week. And they're also both very closely related to action, taking action, which is part of what the whole claim of policy thing is about, right? We are suggesting what actions can be taken to help solve a particular problem. So please read this introduction that will just kind of orient you to what was happening at this time and why King was in jail in the first place. It also gives a little bit of connection with Thoreau, specifically some quotes from Martin Luther King Jr. about Henry David Thoreau and how Thoreau's writing, Civil Disobedience, influenced him. And then part two here is to read and annotate or take notes for this essay letter from Birmingham Jail. There is actually a audio recording of King himself reading the letter, which is pretty cool. So you can click there and read it. I think that yes, there is a slight difference between the text, the actual text, and the words that King uses. Just I think that he was, maybe improvising a little bit as he was saying the speech. It's basically the same, but there are some word choice differences. And again, if you choose to listen, I do recommend, of course, having the text in front of you. You also need to annotate or take notes, so that will just help you there. All right, back to the week 12 page. Finally, you need to participate in a discussion. So I'd like for you to post your answers by Monday, May 5th before midnight. So there are a few, 6 different questions. What stood out to you or resonated with you in Thoreau's civil disobedience and why? What is Thoreau's opinion on majority rule? And then similarly, what part stood out to you about or resonated with you in Martin Luther King Jr.'s letter from Birmingham Jail and why? Please practice using MLA formatting guidelines as you are citing specific passages or quotes from either of these texts. And then think about how MLK Jr. establishes his credibility, authority slash ethos. And then what are the similarities between the two and how are they different? So kind of comparing and contrasting. And then if you have any questions about either one of those or both of those texts, or if you are confused or unsure what the author meant in either one, you can write your questions here. So number 6 is an optional question. You don't have to write anything. Um, and then you're going to have a whole week to reply to 2 classmates. So you'll reply to 2 classmates by Monday, May 12th, which will be taking us into week 13. Yeah, so your reply to 2 classmates is due then. And then we're just continuing to work on the claim of policy. You've got your rough draft and essay tutoring due Friday, May 9th. So kind of keep that in your mind. Maybe you want to set up an appointment sooner than later for tutoring, or just make sure you plan ahead there. All right, I think that's pretty much it. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and jump to week 14 because that's the last week anyways. So the final thing that you'll need to do week 14, the last official day of this class is Thursday, May 15th. And that is the day that your final draft of the claim of policy essay is due. So pretty much other than the Thoreau King Jr. discussion and readings, you're just working on your final essay. I am in the process of grading the remaining claim of fact essays. I have a few more of those, and then your claim of value. So I would recommend when you see your grade posted that you go into your assignment, view the rubric, view the feedback that I have left you, any comments that I have left you, and use that feedback to make sure that your final essay is the best that it can be and that you're not making any of the same mistakes. In addition, all extra credit is due on this day, Thursday, May 15th. So any extra credit that you want to complete towards your homework grade. So you should go into the grade section, look at your grade. You can scroll over to the very end and you will see the different categories. So for example, if your homework grade is lower than you would like it to be, maybe you want to do an extra credit that will go towards your homework grade. If your participation is low, maybe you missed a discussion, maybe you want to do something that will help you with that grade. And then your extra credit for tutoring, if your essays grade is lower than you would like it to be, the tutoring can go towards that. So again, you could get tutoring a couple times for your claim of policy. You could get it once for the assignment, which is due week 13, right? But then maybe after that, you've edited your essay and you want another round of feedback from a tutor before you submit your final draft. That would be a great opportunity to do that. between maybe May 9th and May 15th, the last day of class, you do another tutoring session, you can get some extra credit and just help you improve your essay. Okay, well, I hope that that all makes sense. I will probably I'm not sure if I will record a video next week since I've kind of just talked you through everything, but maybe I will just pop on here just to say hello. And please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns, if you are struggling, if you're behind, overwhelmed, any of those things. I still do have office hours. I have office hours tonight from 7 to 8. You can pop in. And I also have office hours each remaining Monday, as well as the final Wednesday before the class ends. So let's see, where are we at? Okay, if we go to home and go to quick links and my office hours, there we go. So today and the next 2 Mondays, as well as Wednesday, May 14th. So if you have any questions, I will be here to answer them. And of course, feel free to send me a message or an email at any time if you have any questions. And that's just about it. So I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.